No, the door. I just hit her with the door.
Are you guys ready to start? Yep. Okay. Does anyone have an answer of that? Remind me of your name.
Blake, for the first one, I got 245.
245.
Because I multiplied 45, and then I got 200 out of that, and then I multiplied 9 by 5, and I got 2. I got 45, so I did it together. Ooh, can I say that? And my division problem is 245 divided by 49 equals 5.
Okay. Did you guys get 245?
Yep.
No. What did you guys get?
I didn't get 200.
Okay, I don't want to hear you guys unless you raise your hand. Yes, so 165. Yes.
I got 240. That is the right answer. Oh, I thought you said like 65. I didn't do a different one, but and I was gonna say how I did it.
You can say you did, yeah.
This is something that I think about a lot of people should use. But what I did was I rounded it to 50 times 5, and I got
That's a great method.
yeah, good job.
It's Brooks.
So what I did 5 times 50.
Why are you guys talking back there? We're listening to Brooks. Yes.
So I got that. I did 5 times 50, and then when I got 250, and then I took away 5 ones, and I got 245.
So we all came to, most of us came to 245. If you didn't, I hope you can see what you did. Maybe you're trying to rework it. Because I can't figure out what you're thinking. But this is the right answer, 245. So what did you guys put for the division equation? Let's call on someone I haven't yet. Remind me of your name.
5 divided by 49 equals 9 remaining 4.
Say that a little louder.
5 divided by 45 equals 9 remaining 4. You went 2.
Who agrees with that?
I do.
You?
Yeah.
Does anyone else have another answer? Sapphire?
And 5 divided by 245 equals 94.
So 5 divided by 245 equals 94?
No, it's 5 divided by 4 divided by 5 divided by 49. Let's do this. Oh, never mind, I got it.
Yes, what's your name?
49 divided by 5 equals 9 with the remainder is 4.
Okay. Yes, drink.
I said 245 divided by 49 equals 5.
Okay, I'm just trying to hear your guys' ideas until I tell you the right one. Yes.
Are we in the division equation? Yes. 490 divided by 2.
Okay. Let me write something down and I want to see your reaction. Okay, so there's obviously confusion here. Where do you think I got these numbers from?
From the equation sentence.
From
From the
the
thing.
previous thing that you just solved. So you took the sum, not the sum,
I got the right answer.
took the answer, and that is what you're using as the, you guys remember what this one's called?
Denominator.
This is the dividend. This one's the dividend. Then you take one of these, and that is your divisor and your quotient. So the correct answer is also
But it's kind of multiplication. They can do kind of like such.
only these two can flip though.
It's kind of like you can do 1 plus 4 equals 5.
The dividend does not flip.
It's a multiplication equation and division.
Yes, you are taking the multiplication equation and turning it into a division equation. So you are supposed to use these same numbers and turn it into a division problem.
It didn't say that on the board.
It did not say that. So
Yeah, how are we supposed to know to do that?
I said
it does say use the inverse operation, which is you're reversing it to check your answer. Does it make sense me telling you this though? Does that stoke some confusion?
Makes sense when I did it to me.
Yes.
Can I go to the bathroom?
Yes, you know that. So you just took these numbers and turned division. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's try the next one. Okay. So let's start with the division problem. So we got 485 divided by 9. Drake?
That's 585.
585 is what I meant to say.
66. I took a lot of guess because we were 5 of these. I just said 66.
6?
66.
66.
I thought that you were going to
That was really close.
Brooks?
65.
How'd you get 65?
So, I threw my paper out. But, so I did. Can I show it on the board?
You can.
We need to keep some. Well, for 4 minutes.
So,
I can show it. You see?
this. And then 9 divided by 585. I tried to put 9 into 5, but you can't put 9 into 5, so I put it into 9 into 58. And that's 19 plus 7 4. And so I put it in that 6 times. And 6 times 9 is 54. 54 divided by, subtracted by 58 equals 4. I brought down the 5 and did 9 into 45. And that went in there 5 times. So I got 5. I did 5 times 9 which is 45. And that's 0. And so there's no remainder.
Great job. You have a different way you did it? You can show. You did the box now? You did something else besides that?
Well, I wrote, I used the box, but I got a different answer.
You got a different answer than 65?
Well, I got 65, but I haven't used it.
You got a remainder with it. I don't know how you got a remainder
How
with
did
it.
I? Did he put 55,000 in the thing? Did you tell me?
The answer's 65.
Wait.
The answer to the problem is 65. Who got 65?
Oh, this is the division. Oh, I did 56.
56.
I got my numbers mixed up.
Okay.
Well, I like had the answer right there. I know it's something like 60.
Look, I did it twice.
Okay, so I want to hear from someone who I have not called on yet. Tell me what they think the multiplication problem is. Yes.
You stopped doing that. It made headache.
Okay. Interesting. Thank you for your participation. Does anyone else want to tell me what they think it is? Yes. What's your name?
Pencil.
Hazel.
I think that it's 65 divided by,
Multiplication?
times 9.
Why do you think it's 65 times 9?
Because in the last one, when we did the times, it was, the answer was 245, and then we used the 245 to divide.
Who agrees with that? You guys agree with that?
I don't. I agree. 585.
Okay, let me try to explain. We are using these numbers. No other numbers. This is all we're focusing on. These three.
Yeah.
And we're taking this division problem and putting it into a multiplication problem.
This is 65. 585 times 9.
Okay, I'll tell you guys, this is the correct answer.
Oh, I did the wrong ways. That's the correct answer.
This is the correct answer.
Oh, I did
Like,
Nine.
go to and flip it.
9 times 65 is 585, and 65 times 9 is 585.
How did I end up with 5,269? You did it a different way.
Okay,
I thought it was 585 times 9. Yeah, I did too. That's what I ended up with that.
so you guys are understanding how to do the math. It's just the turning it from division into multiplication and vice versa.
Yeah.
I ended up my first stuff. What's the answer?
The answer was 65 times 9 equals 585. Okay.
Thank you for teaching us.
Thank you for listening.
Now we're gonna move on to the actual lesson.
Okay.
So you're teaching the whole day?
Yes.
starting at 0. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I got it right. Stop playing easy.
Okay.
He said easy.
Okay, I want to hear the little conversations.
He said it says browsing this.
Okay. Let's count by 6 from 0, 6 to 6, 6. So we have 0, 6, 1, 6, 2, 6, 3, 6, 4, 6, 5, 6, 6, 6. What is 6, 6 also known as?
One hole.
One whole. Yes.
And 3 6s.
Don't jump ahead. Okay, Drake, what is 3, 6?
It's half, and 0 and 0 6 is 0. It's all 0 right now.
You are exactly correct.
He's not saying easy. It's not easy. It may be
He
easy
said
for you.
easy.
It may be easy for you, but not for other people.
He didn't say that. I said easy.
Okay. Does everyone understand why that is 1/2? So now we are going to try to simplify 2 6 into a different number. We're making an equivalent fraction. We're not multiplying it by anything. But can you try to make it smaller?
No.
3/3.
Yes, you can. You can make it to 0 thirds.
I don't want to hear you talking now. Yes.
Because one counting something from 0 to 6. It's not from 1 to 6. And so this would be 6. Get out of my Chromebook. It's easy. It's easy.
Okay. No. So I will do this one, and I will ask you something else. Okay, so 1 6 can be simplified into 2 6 can be simplified to 1/3. Is anyone confused by that? If you divide both of these by 2, you get 1/3. So those are equivalent fractions. It's just not what you're used to. You're not multiplying, you're dividing. So what about 4 6? Does anyone have an idea? Yes.
4 6. So right is gonna have because 3 is have 2 and 4 is 1.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
That's true. Yes, Brooke.
2/3 is equivalent to 4 6.
2/3. Does that also make sense?
Yeah.
Did the same thing. Divided both of those numbers by 2 to make an equivalent fraction.
Or multiply.
And these do not simplify.
Yeah.
Drake?
I think 6 a whole is equal 6 6.
You are
equal to 4 thirds. That will 4 thirds.
You think what?
4 thirds
What about 4/3?
is equal to 6 6.
4/3 is more than a whole. Okay, so that was just a rundown. What? Also, get out your whiteboards while I'm doing this class.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, there should be no talking during this. I'm still hearing talking. There should be no conversations right now. Okay, everyone, regroup. Eyes and ears. Okay. How many halves are in one whole? Yes. Say it louder. How many halves are in one whole? Okay, whoa. There's still so many conversations going on. I don't want to hear anything besides the person I call on, okay? 10? What'd you say? 2. There are 2 halves in one whole.
I see.
Do you guys agree with that?
I see. No. No, I want to see.
Okay.
I don't have a marker. Mine disappeared and vanished.
Can you use a piece of paper to write on? Is that blackboard?
We used them this morning, Hank. Did you just leave it? I don't know. It disappeared. Hank.
Okay. How many thirds are in one whole?
3/3.
There's 3/3 in one whole.
What? Let me see.
You know this one? How many fifths are in one whole? 5. Are there 5 fifths in one whole? You guys agree? Is this confusing for anybody?
Very much.
Very much. Okay. So how many halves are in one? Hey, class.
Yes. Yes. So 5 fifths are in one whole. In 3.
You got 2 halves.
I get it. That's one. That's a whole.
3 thirds.
Oh, I see.
Yes. 5 fifths. Okay? You good?
I'm gonna hedge on.
Okay. Yeah, no worries. You don't know what we're doing yet. There's still conversations outside of math. I don't want to hear any talking unless I call on you, okay? Okay. So for this first one, we are going to break apart this fraction into 2 fractions with like units, with same denominators, okay? So what is the unit for this fraction? Drake?
What's it? It's become the denominator on top of the bottom.
This is the denominator, it's on the bottom.
So what's the question again?
What is a unit? And units are the denominator.
5.
5, so fifths.
Well, 1.
So how do you think we would change the one whole to have the same units as 2 fifths?
Okay.
Anyone have? I'll do the first one. 1 whole would turn into 5 fifths plus 2 fifths equals 7 fifths. Okay, do you guys understand what I'm asking you now?
Yes.
Okay. No, okay. Still a little confused. Good. Let's try the next one. What is the unit for this fraction? I want to hear from someone else that I have not heard from.
But not me.
Yes.
Is it when are we doing the fraction? Yeah.
fourths. Yes, the unit is fourth. Why are you guys talking over there?
Myself, sorry. Unit.
The unit is the denominator. That's the way to think. Okay, I'll just say similar denominators, okay? Does that make more sense? Better understanding? So how would we change one whole to have the same denominator as 3 fours? Yes. Four. So one whole would turn into 4 fours. Equals oh, you miscounted just a little bit. Is this okay? Put your hands down, put your hands down, put your hands down. I want to get a reading of how you guys feel. Is this still very confusing?
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Okay, we're gonna do it. One more example. Put your hands down.
Do it. Can I do next one? So just one.
What is the unit or denominator of this fraction?
The denominator. The denominator is
3.
so
Yes.
the 3/3 plus 2/3 equals 5/3.
So you take the whole number, turn it into a fraction that matches the same denominator. That way you can add them.
Yes, I got it.
Yes. So give me like a thumbs up, how you're feeling. If you're not feeling good, it's okay. You can say, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. It broke.
Okay.
Wasted my thingy. It's okay. Just go. I don't. Use it.
Okay. Put your hands down. I'm going to teach you a strategy right now. I don't want the answer. So we are going to learn how to do this with a tape diagram. You guys know about a tape diagram?
Yes.
Okay. So the first. Okay. The problem is 2/3 plus 2/3. So we're going to start out. Okay, so we see how this is split up into 3/3 or one whole, right? So the first part it says we're dealing with 2/3, and then we want to add 2/3. So we have 1/3 here. We need to add another third. You guys see that? Since we are adding 2/3, we have one right here. We need to add one more.
I know the answer.
Keep it in your head until I ask for the answer. Okay. So now we have the other 2/3. So how much is it total?
4/3.
Great.
4 6s.
What?
Oh, it's 4/3.
Yes.
4/3.
But if you would add all the 3's together, you would get 4 12s.
What would be another way to write 4/3?
Oh,
Okay.
1 whole, 1/3.
Okay.
I don't want you calling out, but yes, it'd be 1 and 1/3.
Yeah.
So we're dealing with fifths. And you should be doing this on your whiteboard if you're not, or on a piece of paper.
I do not know. Somebody can already tell you the answer.
Well, that's fantastic, but
I thumbs down.
yes, you still have to do it.
I drew a headshot. No, you really had thumbs up. No, I had thumbs down. I drew a headshot. What's wrong? No, it's just a headshot. Something. What do you do? What's 4 plus 3?
So we have one hole with fifths.
7 what?
Face forward. So we have fours. And how much are we adding to 4 fifths? You can say that loud. 3. So we already have one here. How many more are we going to add? 2. We are going to add 2 more fifths. Okay? So what is the answer?
7 fifths.
7 fifths.
Wait, you get it
Okay,
down?
what is 7 fifths? How was your right hand? Okay, everybody. Hey class. Hey class. I keep on having to tell you guys to be quiet and it's not working. I don't know why it's not working, but I don't want to hear side conversations. That simple, okay? Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
So, I want to see you raise your hand. Don't go, ooh, ooh. Just quietly raise your hand. If you can tell me how else to write 7 fifths. Easton. 1 and 2 fifths.
Good job.
Good job. Is this making sense for everybody?
No.
Don't yell out.
Yes, ma'am.
If you have a question, raise your hand. Yes, Drake.
Why is it not 1 and 1 fifth?
Okay, good question. So here's the 1, and we have these.
Oh, I didn't
2.
see those 2. I'm retarded. I seen things.
Yes, you have a question? Okay. How do we feel about the tape diagram?
Oh, I love tape diagrams.
Let me see with your thumbs up, thumbs down. Kind of iffy because you don't have to use a strategy. This is just one strategy you can use. In the middle, okay? So,
You want me to help Nikki?
No, I
Yep.
understand it. I just
Yeah, help
I will wait for you guys to finish. Okay. How many of you guys, with a show of hands, I want to hear any noise, know what a number bond is? Just raise your hand if you know what one is. That's okay if you don't. I'm going to show you. Does this look familiar? If this looks familiar, raise your hand. Okay, that looks a little more familiar. Yes, this is called a number bond.
We called it a good shuffle. Now we call it
What?
good shuffle. And bicycle for extra wheels. Oh, yeah, that's what we called it. So bad.
Okay. We between these three fractions. Does anyone have an idea of what that could mean? Yes. Keep thinking. Yes. No, tell me.
Okay, so 5, 6 would go up top circle,
5, 6,
and
1.
then 2 thirds and 3, 2, 6 and 3, 6 would go down, because if you add those up, they equal 5, 6.
Interesting. So you're telling me 2, 6 plus 3, 6 equals 5, 6. You guys agree? Okay. So you take the number that is the answer to your addition problem, and you take the add-ins, and those are your other circles. Does that make sense? Is that?
Yes.
Do we do another example? Do we need another example?
No.
No. You guys feel pretty good about that?
I would love to have
We
another
will
one.
do one. Just do it. Just be safe.
Can I do it again?
It should be silent in here. Yes. Am I doing work? So explain it to everyone as you're writing it. So once again, you're saying 7 9s is equal to 3 9s plus 4 9s. You guys agree? See? Okay. Very good. Okay, now we're getting into new stuff. We are going to try a number line to subtract fractions.
No. Yeah, what? You can't do that.
You can
Oh,
subtract.
Okay. Right off the bat, how are you going to subtract 3/8 from 1? How is that going to work?
It works. Yep. So that one whole 8/8.
You turn the one whole into 8/8. Exactly. Minus 3/8. Where you can't solve it like this, we're going to try it with the number line, okay? Just so you can see what it's like. Okay, so we have 0/8, also 0. 1/8, 2/8. Say it with me. 3/8, 4/8. Wait, how much is 4/8?
It's 1/2 of 8
Good job.
8.
So then we have 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, and then we have 8/8, which is
1 whole.
1 whole. Good job. Now, in order to do subtraction, where do you think we would start on here? Yes.
You start at 1 whole and you subtract and you count back 3.
Count back 3.
And you see what you get. So in this case, 5/8.
2, 3. Okay. So the answer would be 5/8. How are we feeling about that?
Good.
Is it clicking a little bit more than the other ones? Because we have about 3 other. Yes, Sophie.
Yes.
Yeah, you don't have to use the strategies. I'm just showing you these strategies for you to use if you do like them. Okay, so we're gonna go to the next one. So 1 whole to 5 fifths. Exactly. Okay, so now we do the number line.
6/10.
So we got 0, we got 1 fifth, 2 fifths, 3 fifths, 4 fifths, and then we got 5 fifths, which is also 1 whole. 1 whole. Yes. So now where do we start? Someone else.
That's the way I do it.
I want to hear from someone else. If I don't see someone else raise their hand, I'm gonna pull for the bucket. That's what you're thinking about. So I want to hear from other people. Okay, no talking. If you're waving your hand around going, ooh, I'm not gonna call on you. Sapphire.
You're gonna minus it by 2 fifths and you need to jump back from 5 fifths to 1.
You start at 5 fifths and you go back 2. So your answer is 3 fifths. So how are you guys feeling? Let me see. Thumb wise. Okay.
It's not the way I do it.
So if you are not understanding or you aren't fully grasping it, what are you a little confused about? Everything.
Very specific. So you don't know how to draw.
Okay, guys. Okay, the next one. Okay. So what do you notice right off the bat with this one? First?
So that there's 1 whole plus 1 fifth, and then 2 fifths minus that, it would be 6 fifths. So you would
Whoa, how'd you get 6 fifths?
added, well, you turned 1 whole into 6 fifths. I mean 5 fifths,
5
and
fifths
added 1
plus
fifth,
1 fifth.
and that got 6 fifths. And then if you take away 2 fifths away from that would be 4 fifths.
Yes. Is everyone seeing how to change that number into 6 fifths? Yes?
But I don't understand it.
Maybe for the next one.
Oh.
1 fifth. What is 5 fifths?
It's 1 whole.
1 whole. Where do we start? Oh, yeah. Okay, so what do we notice about this problem? This only goes up to 5 fifths. What is our number?
We need to get over 1 whole.
Yes, we need to go over 1 whole. We gotta go to 2. So we got 6 fifths, 7 fifths, 8 fifths, 9 fifths, and you got 10 fifths, which is also
1 whole.
2 holes. 2
1
holes.
whole.
2 holes.
Yeah.
So where do we start on this problem? Morgan? I did back to 9 tenths. So it's 6 fifths minus 2 fifths. Where on here would we start? At the 6 fifths?
And
Twiggy.
Good job.
Purpose.
Good job. That even.
How are you guys feeling? Let's see.
Ding ding.
Guys. Okay, this is our last practice. What do you do first?
We'll go home.
Yeah, you do. I want everyone watch him. Turn this into 8/8. What about 3/8? What are you gonna do with 3/8? Gotta add it?
Yeah.
Teachers, pardon the interruption. At this time, please dismiss your students that ride bus number 56. Please also dismiss your students that ride the bus to Kittyville and to Central Christian. Thank you.
Here, let me see. Get it? So what is this turn here? 8/8 plus 3/8. What's 8/8 plus 3/8? You can say it out loud. 11.
Secret student. I've never heard of that.
So now we're gonna let someone else do the number line. Go Brooke, since you've been waiting so patiently. And since this is 11/8, is it gonna be more than one whole?
Yeah, it's gonna be 1 whole and 8
Is it gonna go all the way up? You might wanna make that a little longer. Do you want me to draw a line? Okay. So now you guys sit down. So we have 0. Then we have 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8. What's 4/8? Half. Good job. We got 5/8. We got 6/8. We got 7/8. 8/8. Oh, what's 8/8? Oh, good job. We got 9/8. 10/8. 11/8. 12/8. What is 12/8?
3
One
whole and a half. 3/4.
Oh, let's see. Someone raise their hand. Yes. 1.5. Good job.
Good job.
13/8. 14/8. 15/8. And we drew one too many. And then we got 16/8. What is 16/8?
Yes.
Which one? 11/8. So start at 11/8. Kind of hard to see, but where do you do from there? Those are?
5/8.
So what do you do?
You go bounce to the 5/8.
2, 3, 4, 5/8. You bounce 5/8 until you get to, whoa, till you get to 6/8. Okay? That is a little confusing. So the bouncing is gonna be this number. Okay, how are we feeling? Give me some feedback.
It's potato.
Okay, our ones that aren't fully
Potato.
feeling it, what's, if you want to say, like, what's the big confusion?
Well, I'm confused. I'm not confused on the middle line, but I'm confused on the part where you add and you subtract.
Okay, this is one number, right? So we have to change this part of this number to make it a different number, right? Because you have to have it same denominators in order for you to add and subtract, correct? So we change the whole into a whole, but with the same denominator, and then we add this, okay? And that's how we get this number. Okay?
So, you add 1 and 3.
You change the 1 to meet the denominator, okay? So 1 would go into 8/8. Does that make? Yes. So you also have this 3/8. So you have to add back on to make it one number. So then you make that into 11/8.
Okay, I get it now.
Okay? You're not just saying that? You actually get it?
Yeah.
Okay. Because if you don't, it's okay.
I get it.
Picky.
I don't understand the, like, I don't understand the, what is it? The not the multiplication, the subtraction at the bottom.
This?
Yes.
This is just the new equation. This is you taking these numbers and changing them to these numbers.
And how did you get 3 8s? Oh, right there.
And then you add that and you go on that page.
Mm.
Give me some reaction. Okay? Okay, we do not have time for the problem set. I don't know why I'm here talking. Okay. On your whiteboard, I want you to try to solve I want you to solve 1 and 3. I want you to solve 1 and 3/9 minus 4/9. And you can use any strategy you want. You don't have to use one of the ones we talked about today. You can use just whatever you feel like. Give me a thumbs up when you're done. You are solving this.
What?
You are solving this
I know.
right here on your whiteboards. Okay, I don't want to hear you go, oh, I know, just quietly. Hold up your pinky, your thumb.
Oh, I know it.
Yes,
What does that line on the side? Does that represent like a-
yes, it's 1 and 3/9.
Wait, is that is it there's that line?
Okay, I'm hearing a lot of people talk out. Yes.
What? 13, 19, what's that line?
It is 1 and 3/9.
Oh, that's the line. Wait, 1 whole
but they were talking to somebody else. Not me.
Well, I mean, was anyone listening?
Yes, we all listening to them. It's always fast.
Just hold up your thumb. When you have an answer, there should be no conversation. Okay. Desiree, can you tell us how you did it? Her hand's been up for a long time. Yes. Change the whole into 9, 9. Plus 3 9s. What does that equal? 12 9. And then what'd you do? And you just subtracted it?
You is a genius.
So what's the answer? 8 9. So where's that? Who doesn't agree with that? You don't agree? How'd you do? Did you get 8 9 for your answer? But you don't have to put in 9 9s. It's just
I'm saying I just.
I didn't do that first 9 so far. I just did the
All I did was 1 3 nights minus.
okay. So tell me, raise your hand if you guys like the cave diagram. Kind of like it. Okay. What about the number bonds? Kind of like it. Kind of like
I
it.
like it.
What about the number lines? So you guys like doing your own strategies to solve it?
the diagram.
That's valid. So any other anything that more that's confusing, or you want to go back to?
I like fractions.
While we have a little bit.
I'm gonna go
Yes.
I want to go back to
If you're a car rider, you need to go. Okay, everybody. Hayes is talking. Okay. Wait, I want to see really quickly how you guys felt. Hold up your hands and give me a rating on scale from 1 to 10. How good you felt about this lesson? No, not how good it was. How you feel about the content. Like how. If you don't feel good about it, you can put a 0. It's okay. What are my feelings? 0, you don't feel like you learned anything. You don't understand. 10, you feel great about it. Okay.
I wish I had 17 fingers.
Great.
I wish I had 5 million. I wish I had.